So this week, like we said, is going to look a little different because we are going to be recapping what we talked about in person on Sundays. We don't want to leave anybody out, and so we're going to continue to do these online watch parties for everyone that wants to tune into us. And so we wanted to give some words of encouragement from the things that we had talked about on campuses, bring it to you guys. This week we talked about on Sunday how the church doesn't necessarily have to be a building, and how we are so lucky to be able to meet again and have that community, but there are tons of people out there that aren't able to do those things right now, and we wanted to make sure that we understand that a community can be here in the church, but it also can be out there in the wild, out there where people are viewing us online, where they are connecting in their own communities. And we just wanted to kind of spread that message, and we had a couple of Bible verses. We actually had a student this week do a Bible verse and kind of give her opinion on what that meant and what it means to meet here in person, and also what it means to need to love the people on the outside. And so I wanted Kylie to share a verse from Hebrews for us. You ready?
Yeah. Hebrews 10:24 and 25, it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." Through this, we can still come together as friends and family and spend time and just take precautions with social distancing and wearing masks, and we can still, while we do that, we can give back to people who are in need and volunteer to help the church out and other people out however we need to.
And why do you think it's important to reach out to everybody possible, whether it's people here or people that aren't here?
If we reach out to everyone we can, it can show us that we're trying the best we can, check in on people, make sure they're doing all right, see if they need anything, and just be there if someone needs something, and so they don't feel as lonely as some of us might have been doing during all this. With moving forward, we really should just take precautions on how we can come back, and with the cases rising, we just need to keep praying about it so we can figure out what we can do in the long run and just keep moving forward the best we can. That's really all we can do.
Yeah.
And ask God what we need to do to keep going forward.
So we wanted to thank Kylie from both of our campuses for bringing that message to our Sunday morning middle school group, and as well to everybody here tonight. We also talked about in 1 Timothy how God says all of these groups of people that we need to take care of. And as a group of students, we need to be taking care of those people around us, the people that we are not connected with right now. So finding those people on the outside that are not connected, discipling them, connecting with them, showing them a little bit of love. God says that the women were taking care of the widowers, that the old people were taking care of the church, and us as a youth need to take care of those around us, whether it's our brothers and sisters or other youth in our community. So we just wanted to implore here in Abingdon how it is so important to love those around us while we are still growing here in the church, and making sure that we are connecting with all groups of people. What did you guys talk about in Bristol?
So we talked about why we have church, kind of what is church, like what's the purpose? Is it just, like you were saying, like is it the building, or is it actually the people going out? And so we talked about, hey, you can really have church anywhere. So
Right.
I have a few students who've been getting together and doing Bible studies like almost every week or over the phone. And it's awesome. So I was like, hey, that's what church is. Like, it's getting together and worshiping in so many different ways. And so we talked about Joseph, and the three really things. We talked about position, purpose, and passion. So one, like as you see Joseph throughout his life, if you know the story of Joseph, he's like his father's favorite son. Then he's sold into slavery by his own brothers. Then he's high in command. Then the guy he was working for, his wife, accuses him of rape, and so he goes to prison. And then he helps in prison. He tells people their dreams, and so he makes it out of prison and into Pharaoh's household and ends up second in command of Egypt. And we talked about, hey, no matter what his position was, no matter if he was his father's favorite in the pit, if he was serving a high-ranking official, or if he was in jail, or if he was the second in command of Egypt, no matter what his position was, he still used the gifts God gave him to reach people. He still helped the people in jail. He still had the passion throughout. And we talked about, hey, with church it looks different right now. Like we're not as much meeting in physical locations, some of us. And some of us are. And we talked about different positions like in life. Like you can be in the position of a relationship or a certain friend group. And when you lose those things, it can be really hard. I can guarantee, like, sitting in that pit being sold into slavery was not an easy thing, like that's terrifying. But Joseph shows no matter what his position was, he kept his purpose and his passion. And we talked about the church starting back, and when we do start back full swing, like, hey, we have to keep our purpose and our passion. Our position might change again, like no matter like if we end up, if we have to shut down again, or if we still can continue meeting in person, no matter what the position is, the purpose and the passion of the gospel is still intact. And so we're still taking that and spreading that to people. And it can be online, like sharing this link, or it can be, sending someone a Bible study, or just like having a FaceTime group where, hey, we get together and we read the Bible together. And so we talked about, hey, this is why we have church, is to grow closer to God. And no matter if we're in a physical location or if we're outside in the world, like we can make it church. It's the people involved that really make it church. So that's what we talked about in Bristol.
Yeah, I think it's good how we don't know what the months ahead are going to bring, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride like Joseph. And like the verse Kylie said, not neglecting our time together, whether it's online or in person, and remembering that no matter what side of the roller coaster, if we're at the top of the hill or at the bottom, that we do remember that purpose. And I think the main part of us continuing these online things is because we realize that there are tons of you guys who are needing this connection. And we just ask you guys to continue to connect with us, whether it's emails or Instagram messages or anything that you guys need prayer. We are here for you, and we want to make sure to connect with everyone that is involved with us in person, at home, online, wherever it is. And so just remember, during those roller coasters, that we are here for you guys, that you have a purpose no matter where you are, and not neglecting our time together. And so that was kind of the recap for this week. We have some more videos for you guys to watch tonight. We're so excited to bring you guys some more stuff next week and along all over the next couple of months.